Hi guys, Konstantin here from Konstantin's Gaming Channel, and today we're gonna do a game review for Dying Light 2 Staying Human. I've just finished playing the game. The game was released on the 4th or 5th of February, and we're gonna go through it step by step. We're gonna discuss terms such as performance, gameplay, um, and whatever is in between. So let's start with first things first. For those who have not played Dying Light 1, I strongly recommend it before playing Dying Light 2 because the game sort of puts you into this world of where you have to do all sorts of missions and climb all sorts of buildings and stuff. And obviously, you can start from scratch, but if you have played the first one, you kind of like have an idea of what you're gonna do in the second one as well. Regardless, let's get to it. Um, First thing I'm gonna talk about is performance. The game itself scales really well on latest generation architecture, and that does make sense because it's a triple A game. It's been we've been waiting for it for years now. It had a bumpy road last year. We weren't sure that if it's gonna go ahead or not. Anyways, uh, so first things first, you have to have, if you want to play it, if you want to see that eye candy, if you want to see that 4K RTX, you have to have a 30 series card. No questions asked. Um, but um, you don't. If you just want to play it, you don't need to have the strongest hardware out there. So we're just gonna go into options and have a quick discussion about how you can play the game. So first of all, let's go to the video options. Um, the first thing you gotta notice about the game is it is built with the RTX technology, so it does support RTX and DLSS tech. I don't know if it's the last DLSS or it's just DLSS in general. I'm just gonna start from the top to bottom. So if you have a 30 series card, I would say 30, 60, 70, 80, and 90, you can uh, play this game with RTX on, and I'll show you in a minute. Uh, Best settings and such. So you've got going downwards. You've got your window mode here, monitor resolution, vertical sync on and off. If you've got a G-Sync monitor, do not turn vertical sync on. I'm gonna turn it off. In terms of DLSS, you've got your free settings. You've got performance, balance, and quality, and more than that, if you have an AMD card, or I've heard that it's supported by NVIDIA as well. It also features FSR, linear quality. I don't know what it is. It must be software. So I've got linear quality, balance, and performance. No upscaling at all, and I've got FSR as well, quality, balanced, and performance. So take your pick. I do suggest selecting one of these things. If you got a RTX card, go for DLSS, either performance or quality. If you've got an AMD card, FSR. Um, if you've got a GeForce 10 series card, you can do a FSR as well. You have support from DLSS, so it's one of these frees actually. What I would recommend is, once you've done this, have a quick look through the settings and just go advanced video settings. Okay, under advanced video settings, you've got under renderer mode, you will have two settings. So if you have a ray traced video card, starting, what I would recommend is a 20 series and above. So 2070, 80, 80 Ti, 3060. I've not tested 3050, but 3070 definitely, 80, 90. Once you got the 70, it doesn't matter. So if you want to play with RTX on, I would suggest you choose the DirectX 12 mode with ray trace on it. If you don't have RTX, or you have RTX and you want to enjoy a high frame rate, just choose DirectX 11. If you want the full spec of RTX, choose RTX DirectX 12 Ultimate, and it brings you the full spec of ray tracing. Again, if you don't have such a strong card with RTX, like a 20 series one, like 2070, maybe even a 2060, there's some tweaks you can do. Just scrolling backwards, asynchronous compute, that's for when you have multiple GPUs in your computer. Not many people have that nowadays. Going down, anti-aliasing, motion blur. That's the stuff we get used to. So sun shadows quality, right? So this one, if you don't want your video card, if your video card does not have too many tensor cores used for ray tracing, you can just go via the PCF. I don't know exactly what this stands for, but this is just standard rasterization. It will give you standard lights. It won't the RTX effect won't be that pronounced, but you will have a decent frame rate. If you got a strong RTX card, as I said, 30 series from 3060s and above, you can go ray trace soft shadows. Obviously, it will impact your frame rate, but the visuals are just eye candy. They're like really good. And then you've got all other options that you normally have. You can set down and up regarding how strong your system is, global illumination, reflections quality. Again, you can play with this a little bit, like high, medium, low, and ultra, which uses ray tracing. Again, you can mix and match the sun shadows quality and reflection quality and obtain compromise between ray tracing and your performance of your GPU. Based on the ray traced flashlight, I don't know why this is out. This should be normally on. And that's it. So there's three elements where you can change the amount of ray tracing you have, which will affect your performance. If you want ray tracing, if you don't want ray tracing, just go via DirectX 11, and that's it. It's standard rasterization. You will get buttloads of frames in it. Right. That's it in terms of options. Let's go back. All right, back again. I don't want to save. No. Right, let's go into some gameplay. I'll put the video of the gameplay right now. So Dying Light 2 game plot starts fresh, does not have anything in common with Dying Light 1 apart from the world itself, which is a world where dying very bad virus has been released. It has infected everybody. People are turning into zombies. Each zombie has different abilities. They're like different classes of them. They're like more dangerous, less dangerous, and stuff like that. Now in this world, which is full of zombies, and most of them come out at night, you are the main character, a guy called Aiden, and you're supposed to find your sister Mia. And in order to do so, you've got to like go through the main story of the game. Now the story itself is not what makes the game itself special. The story is, I would class it as a IMDb movie noted 7.5 or something like that. It's not great, but what I can say is, because of the amount of missions that you have and side quests, the story itself is enough to keep you in the game and to keep you wanting to play the game and eventually finish it. You're not gonna bore off, and you're not gonna leave because you're too bored. Yeah, I have seen games where the story is so bad that you literally, after couple of hours of playing, you just give up because it's not your thing. It just doesn't attract you. So as I said, there was a lot of debate on the forums saying that this game is 500 hours long. Definitely not. It takes between 25 to 40 hours to finish it. That including side quests and main quests as well, but not all of them. So if you're just going for the storyline, you will probably be about 25 hours, I would say. Most of the people will do storyline and some side quests, because on your way towards the main storyline you meet your side quests and you just do them as you go along, and they do appear as you roam through the city and such. You get like loads of side quests to do, and you just start on doing them on your way towards the main action. With that being said, I'm going to talk about the side quest. Each side quest is different. They're not repetitive. So I quite enjoyed that, because some of them are quite nice. Some of them are quite and they're very well connected to the current environment. You've got to either find people, find items, deliver items, stuff like that in general. But as I said, it connects you to the world and you get to explore it more. So I would recommend doing a little bit of side quests on the side. Plus, it helps you develop your character. That's another thing I'm going to go into. So I'd recommend doing a bit of side quests, a bit of main story, and take your pick. There's no certain order. You can do it in whichever order you want, but there's some harder objectives that you won't be able to do unless you go through the main stories. That's as usual. You see that in a lot of games. Now, saying that, so in order to find your sister, you start with a part of your map which is called Villador Town. This Villador Town has all sorts of missions you've got to go through in order to get to your sister. Now, the map itself is quite massive, and as I said, as you go through the main story, you will unlock more portions of the map. The town itself has a old town and a new town. The new town has bigger buildings, taller skyscrapers and stuff, and higher level missions. And there's also a third part of the map which is some sort of synced town, which you explore once you break a dam and make the water from the dam go away and stuff like that. So the map itself, it is pretty big. So keeping the Dying Lights tradition, the only way you can travel from A to B in this game and on the map is via parkour, which that's what I like very much. So you don't unlock fast travel until towards the end of the game, and that fast travel doesn't help you very much throughout the initial game. As I said, if you gotta go from A to B, there's like usually half a kilometer of parkour where you've got to jump through buildings and so on and such, and while you do that, you fight all sorts of zombies, you can find all sorts of loot, and that's pretty much what most of the game is. You just before you do your quest, you grab some loot, you upgrade your gear, you upgrade your player stats, and so on and so forth. In terms of gameplay, between the main story and side quests, in Dying Light 2 you have a thing called factions. So there's two factions. There's the survivors and the peace keepers, I think, the PKs. These two factions are fighting for control over the town itself. What you're gonna do is you're gonna help them gain more control over the areas through your missions. That's up to you which one. So every time you unlock an area by either taking over a mill or an electricity power station, you get the option to choose where to surrender that area to, either the survivors of or the peacekeepers. Based on that, in that area you will get different sort of speak, you'll get different options. So if you go with the pacemakers, you find all sorts of better loot around, and UV lights. If you go the survivors, you will find all sorts of little trampolines to jump on. So each faction you choose to surrender an area gives you like all sorts of like perks in the area that you might use when you're traveling. As I said, the main the core of this game is you doing a lot of parkour from A to B in order to do your missions, side missions, or whatever. Most of the traveling you're gonna have to do it at day, because at night it's a lot more dangerous. As I said, the zombies come out. It's a lot harder, and if you walk too much on the ground, you get into such a thing called a chase. Once in that chase, you've got to go towards a UV light in order to get rid of the zombies. It all becomes more complicated. But if you play the game during the night time, you will get higher quality gear and better loot. In terms of character progression, I would say it's quite well balanced. There's the main thing that upgrade your character level is called inhibitors, which are like special syringes you find across the map. Once you get an inhibitor, once you get 3 inhibitor syringes or whatever doses, you get to choose where to apply them, either your health or your stamina. That's my dog in the background, if you can hear him. Hugo. If I would strongly recommend once you begin the game, put all your hey Tati, put all your points on your stamina because you're gonna need it. Your stamina at the beginning of the game depletes really quickly, and you need it so you can climb up buildings and walls and such. So again, I'd recommend when you're starting the game, the first 2 free levels, just put them on stamina so you do okay on your missions. Right, so that's inhibitor wise. Now in terms of gear, as you apply on inhibitors, your level increases and you get to unlock better gear. The game automatically does that for you. Just like Dying Light 1, all your weapons degrade when you use them, and you can't fix them, so you're gonna have to always find new weapons. Your melee weapons are your main weapons from the game, at which so that's like an example of a weapon. You can apply different perks on them, like poison damage, fire damage, ice damage, shock damage, and stuff like that, which make them slightly better. And as you go through the game, you're gonna unlock bow and arrow. Once that kind of like makes your life easier. Again, you have different types of arrows with fire, electricity, bleed, toxic arrows that turn people into zombies, so on and so forth. That becomes very useful once you get a hang of bow and arrow. There is also 2 skills trees, one for parkour and one for fighting combat, which you unlock different perks so you can like better fight your enemies, or different moves, better dodging, stuff like that. And also on the parkour side, you can jump more, jump higher, you can go underneath buildings, you can do combos. So all that stuff gets unlocked as you go through the game itself. I finished the game on what I call like a level 6 or 7, where you pretty much can fight any other monster and zombie on the map. So that's character progression right there. As I said, leveling is not very hard to do. You've got 3 levels of game. You've got easy, normal, and hard. I've played it on normal and it was quite enjoyable. If you play it on hard, probably you're gonna have to struggle more, and there's less resources around. So only do that if you've got plenty of free time and you want to replay end quests many times until you get them done, because this is what normally happens. Right, so the game itself pretty much you can play it however you feel like it, as in you don't have to do the storyline first or all the side quests first, but always mix and matching them. Make sure you get like different gear and proper gear for your quests. Right, so so the game also features a online multiplayer mode. Not multiplayer, well, you can just join an online game up to 4 players, where you can go through the quests. So there's one main player and the other players just help the other player out to do the quests. You're just gonna get experience and loot from it, but your main story is not gonna advance. You're just gonna advance the other guy's story. At the moment of doing the review, I was told that I heard that's still a bit buggy. It might corrupt your files if you keep on playing it, but I did do it. I've played with friends and I didn't have any issues, and I got some loot as well. Now in terms of bugs, I have to say that this is the first game in a while which I've played top to bottom where I didn't find bugs, annoying bugs, or any. I never got the feeling of an unfinished game. Everything just works. I didn't have any crash. Everything just pretty much clicked. There were some bits and bobs where you get stuck in the graphics and here and there everything might not be just perfect and stuff, but all I can say is, compared to other previous games like Battlefield or Cyberpunk that were released with loads of bugs and issues and performance problems, this game is quite well balanced. I didn't have any issues with it. Again, everything was really a really enjoyable experience for me. I've done all the quests as I should. I didn't get stuck. There's no quest that you start and you can't finish like I used to have in like there used to be in Cyberpunk, where a lot of people complained that certain quests they couldn't do them. So I managed to do all the quests I did, which is quite a fair chunk of them. I managed to finish them off. I didn't get stuck. So that for me that's a big bonus right there. Again, performance wise, if you have an RTX card, go for the RTX mode. The current frame rate in the game is from a GeForce 3090 with everything on maximum details. So that being said, my personal opinion is you can try this game if you can get it. There's another video which I've put, if you can see it on my channel, how to get like a cheaper license for a 10% license cheaper. Yeah, currently this is one of the best games you can play on PC platforms in February 2020. If you're looking for something new to play and exciting, I would definitely recommend Dying Light 2 as your go-to game for the next couple of days, because you will enjoy it. I did hear that it has a 5-year lifetime, so they will be releasing DLCs. I think there's one coming out shortly as well, so you will have DLCs coming. I think they're free as well, so it will keep you busy. Plus, after you finish the main storylines and the games, you can still do the quest as usual, but there's also lots of areas in the game you can explore, and lots of quests that you can do like at night, such as like special monster fights and stuff like that. So even after you finish it, just like Dying Light 1, you can keep on playing it with your friends and stuff like that, so it gives you something to do. So in my personal opinion, it's money well spent. Plus you can find it cheaper on CD keys, and it really gives someone something to do right now. Yeah, definitely recommend it. Go for it. It doesn't matter if you have a very powerful computer or just a budget build PC, the game will run. And yeah, it's exciting. Go for it. As I said, the parkour side of things is not something you see in any game, and it's really enjoying it, and this game does it really well. I don't think there's any other game that does it like this one. So until Horizon Forbidden West comes out, which is in a couple of days, I definitely recommend this one. Thank you very much for listening to my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, put them below. If you want to subscribe. I'll do my best to put as much content as I can. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.